Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be going over the key features and installation guide for the Stow-n-Spin Lazy Susan. Now this is different and unique in that it has a D design. Unlike the typical Lazy Susan, which is completely round, these were designed with a D shape so that they could fit inside of a very small cabinet. 11 inches is the smallest cabinet you can put this in. The concept behind the D-shaped design is that this flat part will sit right directly behind the cabinet door, and then once opened and you spin, this part actually protrudes out from the cabinet so that you can get to these things easily. I'm often approached by inventors that want me to create videos for YouTube showing the product in real life, explaining how it's put together, and then they also see my TikToks and they like what I do with them. So I will be making a TikTok as well. But this is something that I went online. It's available on Amazon. I did look over the reviews. I'll tell you what I found. I'll tell you what the inventor told me about them. But first I want to show you, this is the double deluxe version. It does come in 3 models. It comes in 5 different colors. I'll show you all of those because he sent them all to me. This particular product will hold 35 pounds of weight. There is another model that doesn't have as many tiers that holds 25. This is something originally when he approached me, I thought of my spice rack that's a mess in my kitchen. There's a bunch of vertical storage that is being wasted and not utilized. But then after I had a chance to look around my house, I thought, okay, these could be used in a refrigerator. They could be used to organize makeup. I've got a craft room that has a cabinet that would be perfect for this. And then I even thought, because it holds 35 pounds of weight, I could use it to hold screws or even tools on my workbench. I already assembled this black double deluxe model. I'm gonna open another box and do a walkthrough of how easy assembly is. The model I'll be demonstrating on is a slate double tier deluxe model. So right away I noticed there is a made in the USA label on the box. It's made right here in Georgia by American hands. This is an American company. Okay, and when you slide the contents out, they come wrapped up like this. There is a little pamphlet inside which shows the different models and the specifications, as well as customer service. Now I'll be including these in my Amazon shop with a link. I think it's very important to note it does have a 4.6 rating. As well, if you do read through those Amazon reviews, I think it's important to point out there were a few people that noted that their plastic cracked after a few months and that these stems were hard to hold on to while assembling. So I spoke to the inventor about that and he said he took care of all of those customers with either a refund or a replacement, and that he listened to what they had to say. He revised his product, he made it with a sturdier ABS plastic, and he did redesign these stems so that they're octagonal in shape. And I'll show you how it's easier to hold on to those when you are assembling. So I'll be working with the deluxe model. This is different than the double deluxe model in that the central upper portion will be open. Say you want to use this in your refrigerator, you can put a full gallon of milk right here in the middle, and this spins independently, and this bottom portion spins as well. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that this is the tier that you're working with first. The Stow-n-Spin label should face forward. The stems and the necessary hardware come in a different baggie. You're going to need either a screwdriver or a drill. If you do want to use a drill to aid in the assembly, make sure you choose a very low setting so that these screws don't go in too fast and that you don't crack the plastic. To assemble, I'm going to remove the liners, which, by the way, these are machine washable or hand washable with soap and water. It is suggested when you go to wash these that you do use soap and water and do not put them in a dishwasher. Each stem is going to set within this little recessed area right here. The screw comes up from the bottom and then the stem threads on. I found it easy to just use a screwdriver. I did not need to use my drill. And I went ahead and tightened it. It was very simple. Now, if you have trouble grasping this, I would suggest using one of these inserts to hold on to, and it does give you a tiny bit more grip. When the supports are securely attached to the bottom, you could go ahead and install the top tier by using the self-threading screws. You just line up the holes and repeat the steps as before. I did not need to use my drill. These went together quite easily. Okay, and secure them until they're tight, but do not over tighten them because you do run the risk of making something crack. Just tighten until it's snug. Okay, that's all there is to installation. If you look at the bottom, the whole unit spins on a positive traction bearing base. There are little ball bearings in there. And then once you have it put together, you can go ahead and put the liners back. Both of the models I have assembled right now do hold 35 pounds of weight, and then the single one holds 25 pounds of weight. The dimensions measure roughly 10 3/4 inches deep by 13 1/4 inches wide by 7 1/8 inches tall. So I think one of my Stow-n-Spins is definitely going to go out here. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of clutter just all over my workbench. I'm going to take a couple minutes and organize one of them, and then I'll take a few into my house and show you how I'm going to use them in there. Okay, so as you can see, these each fit a lot of items. It goes close up to the back of my workbench without hitting. This is quite heavy. I've placed it in the middle, and you kind of want to make sure that you have things balanced if you are going to use a heavy item there in the middle. And here's what I was able to do. I had all of that clutter that was there. It's now here, and I can see what I have easily. See, everything moves. This can move independently, as can this if you need to swivel it around. It just looks so much neater, and it does take advantage of the vertical space that I was missing before. I'm now assembling the white, and I just wanted to reiterate that you want to make sure when you're assembling this top one that you place both of the flat edges forward. You don't want to accidentally turn it like that. It defeats the purpose of having that D shape. I also want to show you the different colors that are available. There is a nice wine color. It's like a deep burgundy. This one is champagne. It's almost like a taupe. Very pretty. This one is a slate gray color. All very nice colors that are very neutral that would fit into most kitchen color schemes. I also want to do a close-up shot of the plastic front and back. It's like a light to mid-weight ABS plastic. It's durable and perfectly suitable for this type of product. First area I'm going to organize is in my kitchen. This is where my spices are, as well as some vitamins and things of that nature. So I'm going to reorganize this bottom tier. As you can see, there's a lot of vertical space that it goes wasted in most cabinets, and everything fits. I actually have extra room, and I like that these tiny dinky ones on top, while this is facing forward, you can't access them, but when you swivel it around, you can get to them. Now, the way my cabinets are spaced, if I wanted to access them even better, I could move that shelf up, but then I wouldn't be able to reach my cookbooks. So I like where it is, and I can still reach them. I just have to swivel it and reach them from the outside. So that is why I chose to put this one on this shelf, because if I would have had this one on the upper shelf, I wouldn't be able to access the middle. But everything works. It would be nice if they would both fit on one shelf, but you can't have everything. You do gain room overall, and not only that, but now I can get to everything. While these same items fit in here, they were crammed, and you'd have to move things out actually to get to them. And now I can see exactly what I have. So overall, I really do like it. That's why the D shape makes so much more sense, because you have more surface area than a typical completely round Lazy Susan. So it just makes more sense. This is one of the cabinets in my craft room before. And here's my craft room after. All of my ribbons before were just kind of a mess. I had rods extended, so if I wanted anything in the middle, I had to completely take the rod down to get to it. Now everything is accessible. I can see what colors I have. When I have more time, I'll probably go through and color coordinate them. What I did with the deluxe model was took advantage of this part being open and just went ahead. Some of my ribbons were a little bit wider. Same thing here. Some of these are a little bit wider ribbon bolts. So there's no law that says you have to go up and down like that. So for these, I went ahead and put them sideways. I actually have room for more. I can't even believe it because everything is here. Just a much smarter use of space. I'm very happy with it in my craft room. The last area I'm going to organize with my Stow-n-Spin is underneath my bathroom sink. It's just chock full of beauty products. I already created little tiers to the left and to the right, but in the middle, it's just still a mess. So I'm sure I can do a lot better by organizing it. And I'm going to use the Stow-n-Spin, the deluxe model, because I do have a lot of products that are kind of large that I want to put in that central spot. So I will come back on and show you an after. Okay, there's everything reconfigured. Now there were some things that did not fit on the shelves, so I just swapped what I had here for here. And now this is the first out of the 3 cabinets I've worked with where I've had this issue. And it's because this is a custom cabinet that was built for me. But because of that, this lip here is a little higher. And so this would not clear originally. So I have it for now propped up on a little wooden box, but I will cut a piece that will fit there. I'm only mentioning that in case you have cabinets in your home that are not the average sizes. So it's just a small inconvenience. I can fix it. This is actually propped up higher than I need it to be, which then takes out space that I have above here. So I will fix that just for demonstration purposes. I have it on there, but it does fit all of my beauty supplies. It created more room. Look, this is almost completely empty underneath there. So yeah, it works in the bathroom too. If you're interested in this product, I do have it in my Amazon store. The single deluxe, which I don't have demonstrated here, it's basically just the bottom portion without the second tier, is on Amazon for $24.99. The deluxe model is $34.99, and then the double deluxe is $39.99. Now they do have a bundle option also for $74.99, which would give you all 3 styles. I hope this video was helpful. If there's something that you have a question about that I forgot to cover, please let me know. Overall, I would probably rate this product an A-, and the only reason I say an A- is because I can see where these supports, maybe for some of my followers, would be a little bit hard to get started with the screws. The first couple, you're kind of trying to balance and use a screwdriver, but after you get all 4 of them in place and then you add the extra tier and tighten everything down, then it does make this a nice, secure product. Overall though, this is a very useful product. I would not recommend something that I wouldn't use myself, and I am going to use this probably in several places in my house. So I hope that was helpful. I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.